we're gonna just power through this as quickly as I possibly can, because I don't know where to begin with this book. Let's just say that. Okay, let's do our intro first, and then we'll get into it, because yeah. Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of What the Smut Book Reviews. Hi, I'm your host Candace. Thank you so much for joining me. In today's video. Welcome to the madhouse. In today's video, we are going to be reviewing a book by author Jennifer L. Armentrout. I know this book is hella popular. This series is hella popular. So, of course, like all of the other people who I jumped on the bandwagon, right? I don't think my brain is equipped to deal with this book or this series as a whole. I'm all about like books that create their own realm of universe or whatever. These books are something else. In today's video, I will be reviewing for you guys book 2 in Jennifer's From Blood and Ash series, and it is called A Kingdom of Flesh and Fire. I will put the cover right there. Like I said, this is book 2. If you were looking for the review for From Blood and Ash, the first book, it is many books ago. It is many videos ago. Go back. It's down there somewhere in the, maybe page 2. I don't know. You can currently get this book for your Kindle or Nook for the price of $6.99. If you want to buy this book in paperback, it will cost you $17.09. I'm assuming it will come as a large trade paperback. And because this book is hefty, that is probably why the price point is so high. If you want it in hardcover, you can do that on Amazon for the price of $28.79. I could not find this used on eBay, except for one copy that was listed at $4.50. And when I clicked on it, the page disappeared. So I refreshed, and it was still there. The listing was still there. And when I clicked on it, the page was missing. So, well, somebody in the process of buying it and it disappeared? I don't know. But otherwise, I could not find this book on eBay anywhere. There is a third book, which is called, what is it called? Crown of Gilded Bones. And that is the third book, and that book was just released recently, fairly recently. This book, in addition to the first book and the third book, all have a massive number of pages. Massive. I am used to reading 300-page full-length novels. 350, 370. Okay, cool. I can do that. This book has 641 pages. Okay. So, I'm gonna do my best to give some type of review for this book. And the reason for that is because of aforementioned 641 pages. And also because I basically devoured this book and then went straight into the third book. So my plot points are kind of like meshed together. There's no seam. It's just one long timeline, right? So I don't really remember where this book left off and the third one picked up. Maybe I'll garner some of that from the blurb when I read it to you guys, and it'll like ding something in my brain, and I'll be like, oh, okay, I'd save myself. I can do this. I probably won't, but I'm gonna read you guys a blurb, and then we'll try and break it down a little bit, and I'm going to try and make this quick, which is hilarious because it takes me 40 minutes to punch out a review on a 300-page book. And I'm going to try and do a quick review for a 600-page book. We'll see. We'll see. Okay. So, the blurb for this one has like one of those taglines at the top that says, "Is love stronger than vengeance? A betrayal, ... Everything Poppy has ever believed is a lie, including the man she was falling in love with. Thrust among those who see her as a symbol of a monstrous kingdom, she barely knows who she is without the veil of the maiden. But what she does know is that nothing is as dangerous to her as him. The Dark One, the Prince of Atlantia. He wants her to fight him, and that's one order she's more than happy to obey. He may have taken her, but he will never have her." And then another little ... A choice ... Castile Denier is known by many names and many faces. His lies are as seductive as his touch. His truths as sensual as his bite. Poppy knows better than to trust him. He needs her alive, healthy, and whole to achieve his goals. But he's the only way for her to get what she wants, to find her brother Ian and see for herself if he has become a soulless ascended. Working with Castile instead of against him presents its own risks. He still tempts her with every breath, offering up all she's ever wanted. Castile has plans for her, ones that could expose her to unimaginable pleasure and unfathomable pain. I'm surprised I actually said that word properly, unfathomable, without stuttering over myself. Plans that will force her to look beyond everything she thought she knew about herself, about him. Plans that could bind their lives together in unexpected ways that neither kingdom is prepared for. And she's far too reckless, too hungry to resist the temptation. Another little ... This is like the longest blurb I've ever read in my life. Like, I'm used to like this much text and it gives you like a brief, quick little, and this is very descriptive, which is, I'm going to get in, a secret ... But unrest has grown in Atlantia as they await the return of their prince. Whispers of war have become stronger, and Poppy is at the very heart of it all. The king wants to use her to send a message. The dissenters want her dead. The Wolven are growing more unpredictable. And as her abilities to feel pain and emotion begin to grow and strengthen, the Atlanteans start to fear her. Dark secrets are at play, one steeped in the blood-drenched sins of two kingdoms that would do anything to keep the truth hidden. But when the earth begins to shake and the skies start to bleed, it will already be too late. Okay, as you can see, this is a paranormal romance novel. As you can also see, or maybe not see, I don't know. This is considered a young adult novel. The two main characters, Poppy and Castile, are both very young. So I'm assuming that's why it's considered young adult. It could also be considered maybe like young adult fantasy because it has a lot of like fantasy elements to it. Or like paranormal, whatever. Okay, so we've all read a vampire novel, right? We've all read like werewolf novels, right? We've all read books that contain in some way like your typical paranormal creatures and what they represent, right? Jennifer, the author of this series, has basically taken all of those characters and given them completely new names. Slightly different characteristics, if you will. Like for example, vampires are called vampires, and they're blood drinkers, and they might have mind control, and they're you know what I'm saying. They can't go out in daylight. Okay. In this realm, vampires are known as vampire. Werewolves are called wolvens. Atlanteans are something else entirely. They're like a hybrid type thing that's like they're close. Okay, so imagine bloodborne vampires. Vampires. Imagine blood-borne vampires who are born versus vampires who are made. The vampire are like vampires who are made. The Atlanteans are like the born vampires, right? They do drink blood. They don't necessarily need it often, like, to survive. Like, they can go months without drinking. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it is part of their diet. They do have they can do mind compulsion. There are also other creatures that have been completely, from what I'm aware of, have been completely made from scratch. There are these things called craven, which are essentially when, it was like when they started turning vampires and it didn't take well and they became monsters who feed on, they just kill mindlessly. They're mindless whatevers. There are now, in the new book in the third book that I'm reading, some other kind of stuff, creatures that are coming up that are like, what? So, okay. Book 2. In the first book left off with Castile, who has kidnapped Poppy, informing her that they are to be married, whether she wants to or not. That's where it left off. They were in a banquet hall in some little town, and she was sitting there, and he was like, "You're going to be my wife." And she was like, "The fuck?" And then, end scene. Like, that was it. Book 2 picks up right where book 1 left off. And essentially, at first she's not having it. She's like, "Boy, you must be crazy. Get out of here. Like, I'll stab you again." Like, okay, so Poppy used to be the maiden, which is like a symbol for the kingdom of Soulless, that she was chosen by the gods, and she's very important to the kingdom, and she used to wear a veil everywhere she went. She wasn't allowed to speak to anyone. They weren't allowed to look at her face. She's very scarred. Her face, certain parts of her body are very scarred from when she was in a craven attack with her parents. Her parents were killed, and she was attacked by craven, but she managed to survive. Okay. She used to wear the veil. She was made to act very demure. She was made to act very demure. She was made to basically be a loner. She had like a little handmaiden Tawny, but mostly she wasn't allowed to speak to anyone. She was low-key trained to fight by her mentor and guard, Victor. Victor has died in the first book. He died. Tawny is somewhere unknown. We don't know. Poppy has been abducted by Castile, who she knew as Hawk, aka another one of her guards, a new guard, a hotter guard, like a younger. Turns out that Hawk, aka Castile, is the prince, and some would argue the crown prince of Atlantia, which is a kingdom on the other side of the Skotos Mountains, that separates the kingdom of Atlantia from Soulless. It's like a hidden kingdom. They don't really, right? So he is the prince. He has infiltrated the guard in order to kidnap Poppy, to use her as ransom, to get his brother back, who is currently being held in like the dungeons of the palace, where the palace is located. I forget if there's like another town that it's located in. So Soulless is the overall thing, and then there's like Carcedonia and Macedonia. I can't remember. One is where she used to live, and one is the actual like seat of the royal palace, right? So his brother, Prince Malik, is being held. His brother is being held in the dungeons and used for nefarious purposes, right? So Castile has kidnapped her to use her as ransom to get his brother back. In doing so, he has formed an attachment to Poppy. He's kind of like started to fall for her. Now his plans have changed. He does not want to turn her over. Instead, he wants to marry her. He comes to the realization that he's in love with her. And he has to convince her to go along with this marriage, which he pitches to her as a sham, to essentially get his brother back and to get her access to her own brother, Ian, who is also in the capital. Not in the dungeons, but Castile has basically opened her eyes, and everything she thought about who she was and who the king and queen are and the hierarchy of everything has been completely like mind fucked. Okay. She was under the impression that when she came of a certain age and the queen called for her, she would go to the capital where she would ascend. Ascending, you basically you go to a higher level of being and you become like immortal, right? Okay. What she doesn't know is that the ascension is essentially the queen and king using the blood taken from an Atlantean to create new vampires, new vampire. So ascension is essentially just you're being turned into a vampire. There's bloodlust involved. Sometimes it goes very bad, but it's something that's offered to the chosen few of the aristocracy and shit, like dukes and duchesses and whatever of the kingdoms. And Poppy was set to do that. Her brother Ian has already ascended, right? She did not know any of this. She did not know about the vampire and what she was told that like these things exist, but that they're abominations created by the Atlanteans. Castile has now come up and said, no. The queen, who like half raised you were like her favorite, imprisoned me, used my blood and other things. Trigger warning. I managed to escape when my brother came to free me. I got out. He got taken. I have to get him out. This is what's really going on. Poppy's like, oh shit. Okay, on the one hand, I don't want to believe you, but on the other hand, I do believe you because I also have feelings for you from the time when I thought you were Hawk. Okay. It turns out Hawk is his middle name, one that's reserved for like as an endearment or like for friends, close friends and family know him as that or call him that. So by him telling her to call him Hawk, it really wasn't like a lie, like a fake name. It was more of a, I'm already starting to feel some shit for you, so you might as well call me this, right? So he pitches this idea of marriage to her. At first she's very like, no, I don't want to do that. Then he's like, what we'll do is if you marry me, you become the princess of Atlantia. We go to the kingdom and we meet with the king and queen. Or we meet with the king and queen somewhere. We tell them we're going to out. Like, I have the maiden here with me. She's not really what everything you said she was. Like, she's not all this chosen by the gods stuff, right? Or is she? But I have her. And we're going to basically go public with the fact that you guys are low-key creating vampires up there. And Ascension is bullshit. And the gods are all sleeping. So you can't be getting blessings from the gods for anything. And that's his play. In return for not outing them, they get his brother back, and they get access to her brother. She thinks about it. Okay, cool, I'll do it. They're in a tiny town. There is one like large major battle that happens when the crown sends people after her. They're like woven that are protecting them and whatever. And there's like one big fight scene. Aside from that, and like the banter back and forth between the two characters, not much is going on in the book. Like, it's like day-to-day stuff. It's not like massive battle over here and a thing over here and a plot twist here and a plot. Okay. Which is why I say, I don't know how she did it. She done did it. But I don't know how she did it. That she got me in to 641 pages. And it wasn't like there's not anything like crazy twist and turn and like, yes, there's plot. These books are very plot heavy. But I think it's more the detail that she goes into about everything. Like, she's so uber detailed that she manages to fill up 641 pages. And really, like, it's just like explaining things, and it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's almost all of it is like just conversation where they're explaining like the points of who's who and what's what. It's like Game of Thrones. Very conversation based, very backstory based, very whatever. Not a lot of fight, action, whatever. Not for this book anyway. I suspect the third book is gonna, I'm halfway through the third book now. I suspect that one's gonna have a lot more content, like fighting and stuff. And there's like a lot of more plot twists in that one. But for this one, I felt like it was really just like her descriptive power that got me. Okay. I'm sorry for the shakeage. I'm going to be 100% honest. I read the first book. I liked it. It was good. It was very good. I was not obsessed. I don't know why I wasn't obsessed. I did do half reading it and half audio. The audio book is also very well done. The narrator, the female character narrator, is very good at what she does. I don't know if I had read the entire thing, if it would have grabbed me more, or maybe it just wasn't, because it's young adult and it's whatever. It does have sex in it, so I can't really say it was because it lacked smut. It did have some smut, but I came out of that book thinking, okay, it's cool. It was good. The series will probably be good. I will probably read the second book. Then the second book came out. I would say I got about halfway through the second book. Again, doing partially reading, partial audio, because I do have a 9-to-5 where I work at a computer and I don't have time to read. I can't just read. So I listen to audiobooks. Okay. I got about halfway through. The attachment and the character development, the relationship development between Poppy and Castile had grown significantly. And there were parts where they were interacting with each other, and I was literally like, oh my God. This. I literally had one of those like light bulb moments where I was like, so this is what all the fuss is about. This is it right here. I'm in it to win it. Okay. So I read the second half of the book. I'm halfway through the third book. it gets better. It gets like, I'm not going to say, again, the takeaway from this should not be that the first book was bad, because the first book was not bad. In fact, without all of the backstory of the first book, you wouldn't know what the fuck is going on. Burp. It's just tons of people loved the first book. They were hooked immediately. For me, I don't know what it was that caused me to not like, you know what I mean? It wasn't bad by any means. I think I gave it, the rating was like an 8.5, 9. I don't know. But I don't know. Something about this one, halfway through. There is a side character who is Castiel's like right-hand man. He is a Wolven. His name is Kieran. I'm in love with him. Like, I love Castiel, and boy, if I wasn't going on 37. Well, obviously, and if you were a real person. But Kieran is so snarky and sarcastic, but also like loyal, and just something about him. I am in love with him. But the banter has also improved significantly. The first book I feel like was very serious. Obviously the second book is serious too, because we're unveiling things and we're getting into things. But the first book I feel like was very like plot oriented. Like, this is who she is. This is what the backstory is. This is who he is. You know what I'm saying? It's setting the stage. And then this one, you get to see more interaction, and more like real interaction between Poppy and Castiel. Because in the first one, she was still the maiden for the majority of it, and he was a guard, and they weren't allowed to like say what was on their mind for the most part. You know what I mean? And in this one, it's no holds barred, because she's coming into her own. Her powers are evolving. I talked about it in the first video. She had an innate like superpower that allowed her to be able to feel people's pain and ease their pain, like physical pain, whether it be emotional or, whatever. She could touch you, and she'd be able to ease your pain. Pain in the beginning was the only only emotion she could pick up on. Now her powers are evolving. She's picking up on all kinds of emotions, not just pain. She has, in this book, she comes to the realization that not only can she ease pain, like physical pain, she can also heal actual wounds. Something else is going on with her that is not just, she's the maiden and she's whatever, because they like, that's a sham, right? But there's something going on with her where she has these powers and she's something, and they don't know what yet. I'm halfway through the third book. I know what she is, but do you know what you want to know what she is? So she's basically, in this book, she's come into her own. She's decided, she's always had like a fiery nature, but it was like snuffed out, or like very dim, because of having to wear the veil, and because of how she had to conduct herself within the mansion, whatever that place was called that she lived. Was it castle something? Anyway, now she's able to just say what she wants to say, do what she wants to do. Not in terms of like, because she's still kind of like a captive, but she's like a willing captive now, and she's like a take no shit type of person. She's constantly threatening violence to people that annoy her, and she's like, I like that. Like, she's definitely come into her own. And Castiel is like that that hero who's come to the realization that they're in love with the heroine before the heroine comes to the realization that she's in love. And I love that. Like, I fucking love books that do that. Like, I love books that allow you to see from the male's perspective, like the male POV. And I love books where the male character falls first and then does anything he can, whether it be behind the scenes or whatever, to steer this female into loving him. You know what I'm saying? And that's who Castile is. Castile has feelings for her. He knows he wants her. He knows that he wants the marriage to be real. And because he doesn't want to overwhelm her, he's faking it till he fakes it till they make it, right? At some point they do, like he does tell her, like, I want all this to be real. I want it to be. And that's the turning point for their relationship, where they both realize we love each other. We're equally obsessed with each other. This marriage is legit. Now we got to figure out what the fuck we're going to do, because the plan may have changed. Right? So, for the rating for the book, I gave it a solid 9 out of 10. Like I said, the second book got me in so deep that I immediately, when I say immediately, I mean when I ended one book, I immediately started the other. Like flip. Not like a day later, not like 2 days, flip. Start the third book. That's how in it I was. Now, I'm even more in it. Like, Castile is just so, like, I can't. He's so, like, he's so freaking romantic and cute, and I can't. But yeah, so the sex gets better as well. So if you're turned off by the idea of like a young adult paranormal series or whatever, because you think that there's not going to be any smut, there is smut. It's in there. It gets better. Don't ask me what page it's on. I couldn't tell you, but it's in there. Yeah. Would I recommend that you guys read this series? Cha. Would I recommend you guys read this book? Cha. I do plan on buying the books. I haven't up to this point because I just didn't want to invest in a series that I wasn't sure if I was going to be like obsessed, you know? Like, I'm very picky about what goes on my bookshelf. But I do plan on investing in these paperbacks because you got me. Jennifer Armentrout, you got me, girl. You got me. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have. I don't know if I gave a good review. Is it? I feel like I miss a lot of plot points. I feel like I miss a lot of, yeah, like that. There's stuff that's going on that I didn't tell you. Mostly just because the cohesion is lost on me right now because of the transition from book 2 to book 3, and I've just absorbed so much information that I'm not sure what happened in what book. But I feel like it's pretty standard for me. So you did get a 30-minute video. Whether it's helpful at all in making the decision to buy this book, I don't know. But yeah, so that's it. That's all I've got. I don't know. If you like me and you like my channel, please consider subscribing. I really appreciate it. If you do subscribe, make sure you hit the bell so you get notifications when I upload a new video. I try and upload at least once a week, sometimes twice a week. Yeah, if you'd like, you can follow me on social media. I do have a members only Facebook group, an Instagram, and a Twitter devoted to this channel. I also now have a book talk. So there's like one video on it as of right now. So I don't, will it be a thing? Will I continue to, I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, that's pretty much it, I think. If you would like, you can thumbs up the video. If you would like, you can leave a comment. It's not mandatory or anything. Like, the 12 people who are going to watch this, thank you for watching. If you made it to the end, I really appreciate that. You're the best. Yeah. So anyway, I think that's it. I really appreciate you guys watching. Thank you so much. I love you guys so much. And I will see you in my next video. Pew, pew. I told myself I was going to stop finger banging. Pew, pew. But I can't. I love you guys so much. Bye. 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 Okay, I didn't mean to hit record because I'm not finished adjusting my shit. Here we go. Here we go. One more time. Everybody's feeling fine. Here we go now. Okay, Charlotte has been like obsessed with NSYNC ever since I like introduced her to like one song. And since then, I've heard NSYNC play every hour of every day. On her tablet, on my phone, in the car. Stop. I can't. Like, I grew up with NSYNC. That was my jam. But when you've heard Bye 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 9,000 times, and what she did, it's not so much the songs that even bother me. It's the fact that she'll like put the video on and she'll listen to 30 seconds of the song and then she goes to another video. And then she'll listen to 30 seconds and she'll go to another video. And she'll go through a playlist like that. In like 3 minutes, she's going through the whole freaking playlist. And I'm just like, pick a song, let it play all the way through, or I'm gonna lose it. Okay? Okay. Hi. Can you believe? Yes. Okay. In today's book that I'm not writing because I'm not an author. The fuck are you talking about? You gotta chill the fuck out. You gotta chill out because you're on some shit. Okay. His truths are as sensual. No. Okay. Malik. Anyway, I'm back. Okay. My angle may be slightly off because I ran out of storage. So, what else is new? Okay. Oh my God, that was terrible. That was absolute garbage. How does one record 40 minutes and say nothing? I ask myself that every time I sit down. Every time I sit down to record. How does one record for this long and have absolutely nothing cohesive to say? I don't know. But I keep doing it. And I don't know how. Anyway. I am coming up on my 100th video upload. 100 videos. I still get 20 views a video, but 100 videos I've put out almost. When I get there, I'm gonna have a big old giveaway. If you follow me on social media, you will know that I did do a giveaway for my 300th subscriber on YouTube. When I hit 300 subscribers, I did a giveaway which included several books, an Amazon gift card, some bookmarks, some delicious, yummy little treats. Tea. It will be something similar to that. I have several books. I have this pristine hunk of meat. Right there. This is a paperback of The Darkest King by Gina Showalter, my baby Gina. I'm going to take all of the price stickers off of these because I did pay. Okay, these are brand new books. I paid full price. Even if the price was $6, $7 a piece, I'm still investing. So I will get the stickers off. Walmart. Why are you fucking me right now? God, I hate that. I hate that. I fucking hate it so much. Get off me. Anyway, Lori Foster, Sawyer, and this will be gone and in immaculate shape by the time I ship it. Gentle Rogue by Joanna Lindsay will be in there. And Sisters by Choice by Susan Mallory. So it's like a, you know what it is? It's a plethora. It's a plethora of genres, subgenres. So we have contemporary romance, contemporary, historical and or Regency. I don't know what the difference is really. And paranormal, because he's a Lords of the Underworld. So we got those 4 books going in that bundle. We also have this very cute, very stylish Talisma wooden bookmark. And then there will be some other things. There's going to be a gift card. There's going to be some sweet treats, obviously, because I bake on the side. And maybe some other stuff. I don't know. Maybe some other cute bookish related stuff. But we're not there yet. We're almost there. But we're not there quite yet. I think I'm up to like 97, 98 videos. So within the next few, you'll see. Sticker. Anyway, I love you guys so much. And I'll see you when I see you. I'm so sorry for this absolutely god-awful review. Jennifer. Can I call you Jennifer? Of course I can, because you're not here to make me stop. I'm sorry. I didn't do you justice. It's not just you. I shame every author that I review. So... But I like you, girl. I like your books. So that's got to count for something. I'll see you guys later. Bye. Click.